NLP for me is a modelling science, a replication science really, being able to replicate what works in the world, the difference that makes the difference. That can be in skills, in emotions, in abilities, in any field, in therapy or education or sports, relationships, in fact in any part of our world, in any part of our life. We can replicate what really works if we know the right tools to get in there. If you think about golf as an example, Tiger Woods, one of the world's greatest golfers. Now there are other golfers that use the same clubs as Tiger Woods and have probably been to the same coach that Tiger Woods has. But that doesn't make them Tiger Woods. There's something different in Tiger Woods compared to all the rest of the golfers, which is what makes him one of the world's greatest. I believe that difference is his unconscious ability, something in his internal programming that makes the difference. And we can model that and work out what that is. What is it that really works in the world? That's what's so exciting about NLP. Now, believe it or not, I was never and have never been a natural presenter. In fact, 15 years ago, I was so shy I probably wouldn't have presented in front of my family, let alone anyone else. But NLP's taught me how to replicate the skills of others so that I can present in front of, well, thousands of people. It's called acting as if. Imagine if you could act as if you were or had the abilities of someone else. Acting as if is such a skill to have, and you can replicate it in any part of your world, any part of your life. We're going to look at it now for specific emotions, things like confidence as an example. So there's this presupposition in NLP, or a useful belief in NLP as I should say, which states there's no failure, only feedback. Now this is an important rule to have before you start modelling or replicating. There's no failure, only feedback. You know, my daughter at the moment is learning how to walk. Now she's modelling Kate and I and the other people around her in their ability to walk and jump and run, etc. And she's trying to work out for herself how it works. But you know, she stands up and then falls over, and stands up and falls over. And if you have kids, I'm sure you didn't say to them, you know, when they first fell over, you didn't say, you know, that walking thing, it's not for you. Absolutely not. Because there's no failure, only feedback. You get up and you pick yourself up and you get on with the job. And that's exactly the same as we get older. There's no failure, only feedback. We receive feedback from the things that don't quite go right, and we make them better. That's how we get faster runners in the Olympics, better sports professionals. That's how we get better businesses. That's how we get better nurses and doctors and teachers. It's by modelling, replicating what really works and working out the difference that makes the difference. Now when I first started presenting, I thought of people and watched people that were great presenters, that could stand on a stage and I couldn't see the nerves. They perhaps didn't feel the nerves. I could see present and they were clear and concise about the topic that they were presenting on. And I acted as if I was those people or that person at that time. So what I'm going to ask you to do is exactly the same thing, and here's what you're going to do. I want you to think of someone that you know is totally confident. Because here's the thing, there'll be something that they're doing that informs you that they are confident. Something different to someone who's not confident. And I want you to work out what it is. There's a number of ways you can do this, but the way you can do this in your mind is just to think of that person now. Think of the time that you saw them as being totally confident. Now what is it that they're doing? Play that movie in your mind of the last time you saw them when they were totally confident, but play it really slowly. Slow it down by 5 to 10 times. How are they standing? How are they breathing? What's their voice like? What is it that they're doing that informs you that they're confident? What's the difference that makes the difference? Play that movie really slowly. And if you can't play that movie in your mind, I'd like you to get a DVD or watch the TV. Or go to someone presenting and say, how do you do what you do? And all I'm going to ask you to do is replicate exactly what they do. You can become them as much as possible. You're going to stand as they stand or sit as they sit, breathe as they breathe. If you can find out what their internal programming is, what they're thinking, then I want you to think in that way. Forget your other filters, forget your other world, become that person as much as possible for that moment. Replicate every single aspect of what they're doing, from their breathing to their stance, to their actions, to the words that they use, to literally everything that they do. And like any muscle, you'll build a muscle of becoming like them. It's like learning to drive for the first time. When you first sit in the car and you think you've got all these things to do, it seems like an impossible task. But now, after driving for a long time, you just jump in the car and you drive off. You don't think about changing the gears or pulling the handbrake off or turning the steering wheel or pressing the 3 pedals. You just do it. It's natural to you. And that's exactly like this. You'll replicate these skills and it will become natural for you. It's easy when you know how. So find someone now that is a model of excellence, someone that has true confidence, someone that you can replicate. Maybe you can watch them on a DVD or on the TV, or you can go and see their presentations or their show, or you can sit with them and ask them questions and sit and breathe and do exactly what they do. And then in your mind, just think of a time where you could do with more confidence and do exactly what they do. And notice the difference. Seems simple. Well, it is. You've been doing it all of your life, since you were a baby. We're just making it conscious for you now, for you to do and replicate. And, like everything, practice makes perfect. So practice these skills. Become the other person. Learn the skill, and you will become confident in no time. I guarantee it. Thank you.